Well, good morning. Today you join me at Porth Reservoir in Cornwall, just outside Newquay. It is a stunning morning. And if you want to see some of this, and maybe a bit of this, stay tuned. Yeah, so I come to Porth today, hoping to photograph the Great Crested Grebes. A little bit early in the breeding season, but there is a possibility of seeing a bit of courtship today as well, and that would be lovely. So, yeah, I've done a couple of recce trips here, and I sort of roughly know the area that they like to hang out, so I'm just going to head that way now and then see what's about. So I'm about halfway along the reservoir now. You might not be able to see, but just behind me there's some coots and some Great Crested Grebe. There's hardly a breath of wind, some lovely light, so I'm going to make my way a little bit further along, get into position, and yeah, hopefully get some photos. Absolutely amazing. They're looking absolutely stunning in their breeding plumage. I've got one just out in front of me. He's constantly preening, trying to make himself look good, ready for the ladies hopefully. I feel like we might get lucky with a bit of courtship today. The only thing that's not on my side is time. I'm literally spoilt for choice. I've had 4 different grebes out in front of me now. Amazing. I keep saying amazing, but it is. We've had one little bit of flirting. The birds have just moved away, so I'm taking the chance to sit up. I didn't bring a roll mat or anything, and I'm lying on quite rigid and lumpy decking here, so it's not the most comfortable of spots. However, we have had, say, at least 4 different Great Crested Grebes out in front of me, and I've got some footage and some photos, so I'm happy so far. Just going to wait for them to come back again, and if they don't, then I'm going to try a little bit further round, which is where I was heading initially before I saw these guys. But they're looking fabulous. In their breeding plumage, they're just looking spectacular. And yeah, what a beautiful morning for it. There's a buzzard in the field on the opposite side. It's sitting in the tree, and every now and then it's flying down and catching something. Oh, talk of the devil. There's a lot of bird life here. The top end of the reservoir is actually a nature reserve, and there's no fishing allowed up there. There's very little access to it as well, even on foot, so the birds do get a nice little sanctuary at the top there. Just moving to try a different spot. 3 out of the 4 grebes are actually a little bit further down the reservoir, but before I head that way, I'm just going to head up to the other bird hide. There's 2 bird hides here at Porth. There's one quite near the entrance which I suppose there's reasonable access for the disabled, along with a couple of fish and swims that has accessibility for the disabled. So this one, however, is a little bit harder to get to, but it's still only a short walk. Just in the hide now, there's not a lot out in front of it at the moment, but there is, I was going to say, a sandbank, a little island, 100 yards or so in front of me, where a lot of birds congregate. So I'm just going to have a little look, see what's sat on there, and get a little bit of footage. There's a couple of cormorants, a heron, grey heron, lots of gulls, many blackhead gulls and heron gulls. Yeah, I literally can't see much more than that. So I'm going to head back down to the Grebes. There's not a lot happening up this end. Usually there's lots of coots. I mean, if you like coots, Porth is your place to come. There's dozens of them. There's a lovely little robin just landed in front of me, as always in these places. Thank you. I never get bored of seeing robins. I just love them. I've got 3 pairs that live around my garden. Yes, they're constantly fighting, but there's 2 of them that will come and feed out my hand. And one in particular that will come and stand by the kitchen window and shout at me if the feeders have run out. So, at least the birds have always got their seed at home. So I just had that small little courtship dance. They straighten up using their back legs to lift them up out of the water. Just shake their heads. They've now gone back to preening. So they are quite far away at the moment. So I'm just on the limit. It'd be nice if they came that little bit closer. I've got my 1.4 times converter on today, so I'm shooting at 700mm f10. Kingfishers just on a flyby. There's at least 1 pair here. I don't know if you heard that. You don't often get great crested grebes on land. Their legs are positioned very far back on their body, which makes it very awkward for them and makes them very clumsy on land. They actually spend the majority of their time on the water, and they even build floating nests. So hopefully in the spring I can bring you back here and show you that. Okay, so the move's paid off. I'm a lot closer now, and got much better light on the birds. Just had another lovely display. Got a little black-headed gull sat in front of me, doing a weird call thing, lowering its head level with the water. I've not seen them do that before, but then I've not really sat and watched black-headed gulls, so maybe this is another breeding thing. If anybody knows, can let me know in the comments below, that'd be great. I really hope you can hear that. So it's just coming up to 10 o'clock. I've not got long before I've got to head home, but I'm really pleased, and I should have a couple hours tomorrow morning to come back as well. So I'm much more mobile now. I've got rid of my ground pod, and yes, it's just a frying pan, and the grebes seem to have dispersed. There's a couple that have headed back up this end of the reservoir, and some that have gone this way. So I'm hoping to catch up with this pair and get a few more photos before heading home. It's been a beautiful morning. I mean, it's January, it's not cold in the slightest. I mean, even before the sun came up, it was 5 degrees. What a way to start the day. Absolutely love it. Well, that was fantastic. I didn't manage to get any photos of the grebes on my way back, but I think I've got just enough time to pop around the other side quickly and see if I can get some nice backlit photos. It'd be lovely if I could just get a couple more photos, finish the morning off. The light tomorrow morning is not going to be half as good, but I think it will still be worth the trip. It's a beautiful place, and it's quiet. It's not very popular. One thing to bear in mind though is just be mindful of the anglers and make sure you're not disturbing them. They pay a lot of money to fish here, and Kingfisher. Oh. Wow, absolutely love seeing them. Like little blue darts across the reservoir. Now it's just landed in a willow on the opposite side, just where I'm heading. Just made my way round to the other side. The grebes are a lot closer this side. In the morning they were much closer on the other side, but I think they've come over to enjoy this sun. I've managed to get a few photos. If they've come out any good, they'll probably be popping up on screen now. But I don't have long left now, so make my way back towards the car, see if we can get the last few snaps and a bit of footage, and then call it a day. I can't believe it's January. Look at it, it's beautiful. Well, that's me done for the day. If you've made it this far into the video, massive thumbs up, thank you so much. If you have enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button. As a new channel, it really does help out and helps the algorithm point my video into a sort of path of other people with similar interests. So it is only my second video. First one, I'll put a card at the end and you can have a look at that if you like. That was mainly deer and gold crest in Mount Edgecombe Country Park. But yeah, once again, thanks very much for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one.